Guitar solos are really appealing to play. When you're writing a song, if you're a guitarist, I imagine one of your first instincts is going to be, ooh, am I going to get a solo in this song? And when they're placed well, they can sound really effective, they can sound really good. However, there is a time and a place for a guitar solo. Here are some do's and don'ts. No, they're not. No. Here are some things to try and some things to not try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing to try, number one. Most solo, well, is it most solos? A lot of solos. A lot of solos are written around the pentatonic minor scale. Try not doing that. Try writing it around some different scale. If your song's in major, then write it around the major scale of that song. If your song's in minor, write it around the major scale of that song, because then that'll sound quite cool.
Or bad, just experiment.
Yeah, experiment. Thing to try, number two. Try putting solos in a place that you wouldn't normally expect it. In an average song, your solo would go after your second chorus, maybe after your bridge, before your last chorus. That's like the generic place to put a solo. Try putting them in literally any other place, like after a chorus, before a verse, which can technically be the same place. If you think, oh, a solo might sound good here, and it's not technically the normal place to put a solo, just put a solo there, and it might sound good. Thing to try, number three. If you want to make the ending of your song sound really big and massive, try putting a solo over like the ending vocal part of a song, or just a solo over any vocal part in the song. It really adds a really big grand feel to it, and it makes it feel really epic. And by epic, I mean big and large scale, as opposed to
That's epic, bro.
epic. Thing to try, you're right.
We have Haribo's. We're sponsored. Haribo pay us.
Thing to try, number four. Try experimenting with different sounds, different effects. Like if you've got Haribo just came back up. That wasn't very nice. Okay. Try experimenting with different sounds and different effects. If you've got loads of pedals, like you've got chorus, you've got reverb, you've got flanger, you've got phaser, use some of them. Just try anything to make the physical sound of your guitar solo sound not normal. Not normal is good, except when it sounds shit, then don't make it sound shit. Experiment, again. Do what sounds good. Thing to try, number five. Try restricting yourself when you're writing a solo. Say you're writing a solo, you could think to yourself, I'm only going to use 4 notes in this solo. I know the intro riff of Sweet Child of Mine is what? It's 3 different notes spread across a few octaves?
Yeah, something like that. It's not gonna.
Yeah, but still, it sounds really good. Just try restricting yourself and you'll be surprised what you can actually achieve with less. Less is more, sometimes.
That's what he says because he's small.
Okay, thing to avoid... I'm going to eat this now. Thing to avoid, number one. Avoid writing a solo with a lack of melody. And what I mean by this is, it has to sound catchy. It has to sound like something you could hum along to. If you've got a guitar solo where it's just like... then it doesn't sound very good, does it? No one can remember it. People might think, oh yeah, that's really technically impressive. But technically impressive does not always sound good. Thing to avoid... What is it? Thing to avoid, number 3.
Really?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. Thing to avoid, number 2. Avoid having solos that are too long. If you've got a solo that lasts for 2 minutes in your song, just don't. Just don't. Unless you're like a Dream Theater cover band. Don't
Basically,
bother.
if you're prog, you can probably get away with
Yeah,
it.
if you're prog rock band, if you're a prog rock band, then fair enough, have a solo as long as you want. But if you're a standard rock band or an indie band, don't have a solo that goes on forever. It's boring. Thing to avoid. You've got 2 guitarists, and you're playing a solo, and you listen to a lot of Iron Maiden. Don't, for the love of God, have the second guitar do harmonies of the first guitar. Because if you don't have another guitar playing the rhythm behind it, it sounds crap, and this big grand epic feel that you're going for is not going to work. Always have a rhythm guitar playing behind a solo, which links into my next point. Thing to avoid, number 4. If you've got one guitarist, just don't have a solo, because it's not going to sound good. Unless you can technically master the art of making the bass sound massive and it still sounds as thick as it would with a rhythm guitar, then just don't. Because if you've got no rhythm behind it, like I said before, it's just not going to sound good.
Yeah, solos are supposed to make it sound bigger. Like, you can't take away, and that's what it does.
Expert opinion from Lenny there.
You're welcome.
Thing to try. Thing to avoid, number 5. Probably the most important thing I'm going to say in this video. Do not cram a guitar solo into your song just because you want to play one. If the song doesn't need a guitar solo, then don't fucking put one in. What are you doing? If you're writing a reggae song and it's like, oh yeah, I want a really cool sounding guitar solo there. Unless it sounds cool, don't put a guitar solo into your song if it doesn't need it. A lot of songs will be better off without a guitar solo.
Thus concludes Joe's video about guitar solos.
We have a playlist to do, Lenny.
We do.
Give me my phone. My phone's here, never mind. What do you... We
I know what
are,
I'm doing.
we are going to add 2 songs to our monthly playlist. If that's alright with you. Lenny, what have you picked?
I'm gonna come around the front because the other day someone said Fizzy Blood, which is an amazing band that we recommended in the lounge bar that we did. Someone said, "Have you listened to Fizzy Blood's new single? It's really good." Yes, it is, and it's going to be my month. This is it's called Sweat and Sulphur, and it's really good.
It's a very, very good song. I am going to choose... See you later, Lenny.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Have a Haribo. This is why we can't have nice things.
I can't tell that because I've got no mouth. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for
Men now.
Menswear by the 1975.
Of course. If at any point in this video, it's the camera slightly moved, it's because we're shooting on a slider that's really badly weighted. Woo!
Have a lovely day.